My name is Judith Santmire. I'm the interim CEO for the Ohio Child Care Resource and Referral Association, and I assist in the coordination of the Higher Education Summit through our TEACH process, so our Teach Early Childhood Scholarships. So for the next few minutes, we're going to kind of walk through some of those landscape pieces in our state. So we'll go ahead and turn on the utility, and then that will work. So this year, as I mentioned, we're celebrating our 10th anniversary of this higher education event. It began with a Teach National Work Group to advance articulation, and we're so excited that we also have a special guest with us today, Dr. Christy Shuggs from the Child Care Services Association. You'll see her shortly. But she is on site here from North Carolina, from what we call Teach National, aka the mothership sometimes, depending on that provides us with the Teach model, how we go about completing our 16 competencies to be a Teach state. So she is here with us to celebrate today and to learn more about Ohio. So that's fantastic. We also, in the course of our iteration with our 10 years, last year at our 9th event, we spent a lot of time in strategic planning. What do we want to do next? What do we want to tackle as a part of this work? And we'll talk a little bit more about the vision in a few minutes, but really looking at that recruitment, retaining, those clear educational pathways and seamless transitions. And it was fantastic to hear the chancellor say, that's the goal in our state. How do we figure this out? Because that reinforces our work that we're trying to do as well. Remove those friction pieces to make sure that if someone wants to and has an aspiration to do that, they're able to succeed. So we'll continue with that work with the strategic plan. You'll see us update that as we have information available. Part of that work is also looking at those opportunities around apprenticeship. So we'll talk a little bit more about the early childhood apprenticeship that we have in Ohio, as well as things like the ITAG, so the Industry Recognized Credential Transfer Assurance Guide. It's a mouthful. But we have one for early childhood, and it says that if a student presents their CDA, they can receive up to 9 credit hours, depending on the institution, of credit towards an associate degree. So we're excited about those types of opportunities to continue for that seamless transition. As we look at successes over the 10 years, we were able to increase the number of articulation agreements. Again, that was kind of our starting point. How did we move that work forward? So that was successful, our ITAGs, and then just strengthening that connection between higher education and workforce information. And so that's what's truly so rich about this event, is that you get to hear from subject matter experts, the Department of what's now Children and Youth, about what's coming, what are updates, what can help you as you're implementing your programs back in your areas. As we take a look at the agenda today, we'll be hearing about some specific Ohio programs, Ohio Promise, which is children with special needs and the credentials that we have available in our state. We'll also look at the pre-K associate standards and a little bit deeper dive into the Department of Children and Youth. So Director Wente will be here, as well as Alicia and Laura, who will talk about Step Up to Quality changes, and then our child care licensing rule review, which will be coming up. And so just a little, not to give away the magic, but, we all know there's 2 sets of rules, and our children's services friends, we have other sets, but we'll talk mainly about early childhood, about Department of ODE legacy and JFS legacy coming to one. Yes. Very exciting stuff. So it's one of those pieces, and I commend, we have several of our Department of Children and Youth represented today. And it's one of those, like, just one of these is a major change, right? And so the fact that they have all of these at the same time, I wonder sometimes how they stay vertical, but I love them all as they're trying to work through this process. We will then have lunch. Lunch will be a buffet style in the same room breakfast was, and we'll come back in here to eat and chat with our colleagues. And then this afternoon, we will have Camille Catlett present on personas. Unfortunately, Camille had a family emergency. She was planning to be here in person, but she does have to connect virtually. So we have made an accommodation for that to be able to have the presentation, and she's very sorry that she wasn't able to be with us in person. Then we will round out the day with emergent literacy and Ohio's commitment to the science of reading. And so our colleagues from the Department of Education and Workforce will walk us through that as well. And then we'll have a wrap up, next steps, and we will send out a summit evaluation after the event. The evaluation is very helpful to us in future planning, so please, you'll receive that email as well. As I mentioned, we'll be recording the sessions, so you will get an email when those are available on OCRA's website. So we'll be able to share those as well. Restrooms, if you haven't already, they're out this door to the left, past the double doors you came into on the left. So feel free to use those when you need them. Any questions as we're starting out? Fantastic. All right. So want to thank our partner, the Office of Head Start Collaboration, and Lori is here with us from the office. Lori, would you like to say hello? Yes, thank you so much. The partnership and sponsorship for this event, we could not do it without the Office of Head Start, so that is a special relationship that we have, and so having the ability to convene folks and our speakers having the recording opportunity is due to the Head Start Collaboration Office. So thank you so much. And thank you to the Summit Planning Committee. We have not only departments of children and youth, education and workforce, but we also have higher ed institutions, our Ohio AEYC and Southwest Ohio AEYC, and so all those folks on this planning committee help us throughout the year to review those things like evaluations, get speakers, help with the planning process. So would like to give them a round of applause as well. So when we take a look at our Higher Education Summit vision, our vision again is to recruit and retain individuals to work with young children by creating clear educational pathways and seamless transitions between various entry points into the early childhood profession. And so each of us has a part in that work. Today we have representative course higher education. We also have career technical education. We also have our child care resource and referral agencies that provide community training that assist in that teacher preparation. And we also have a couple providers here with us today. And so all of us are a part of this work, and hopefully you see yourselves in that vision as well to make sure that those professionals are able to get those educational goals they're reaching for. So talking a little bit about the workforce efforts that we have at the state level, we currently have 3. So we have Teach Early Childhood Ohio Scholarships, Power Ohio Wage Supplements, and our newest is Career Compass for Health and Human Services. So for Teach Early Childhood Ohio, since the last time we met, we did have our Early Childhood Associate Apprenticeship approved by Apprentice Ohio. That occurred in January of 2024. And we are currently recruiting apprentices for that effort. So when we take a look at the different opportunities within Teach, we'll talk a little bit more about the apprenticeship specifically, as that's the newest offering. But we have opportunities for professionals to get their CDA training. So that can occur through the Child Care Resource and Referral Agency or through a college coursework. We also have CDA assessment fee scholarships. So again, that's paying for the $425, as well as a bonus for the professional to receive those. Then we have the associate degree, and this is the Associate of Applied Science in Early Childhood or Child Development, and then the bachelor degree in Early Childhood or Child Development. So those opportunities are for professionals who are currently working in the field, and they have minimum requirements as far as how long they're working in the field. It's currently for what I would call JFS legacy programs. And again, as we continue through this continuum of change, I anticipate that we'll be looking at how we're talking about programs a little differently. So school-based, community-based, family child care. So we might see some changes related to that eligibility. But currently, it would be what would be legacy JFS. And again, specific roles. So looking at assistant teacher, lead teacher, owner, administrator for those scholarships. For Power Ohio, that's our wage supplement. So again, those are payments that are made directly to the professional who have a certain role and have education or credentials for a certain level that have already been attained. And as they are staying at that program, they receive payments every 6 months. Right now, we are on a wait list for Power Ohio. We have over 1,500 recipients that are approved. And so we are looking at potentially if there's additional funds to support more, but we've reached at our max as far as the current funds that are available. Career Compass for Health and Human Services has two components. One is around our connection to high school and career tech students. So for those students, we have a couple of opportunities. One is around signing days. So our fall signing day is coming up on October 4th, 2024. And that opportunity allows high school juniors and seniors to have a signing day to commit to the 120 hours of CDA training during this academic year. So if they're planning to do that, they have the opportunity to get a certificate and sign for that commitment. Then in the spring, we have a spring signing day for high school seniors who are committing to early childhood higher education or early childhood employment. And they, again, have a certificate that they can sign. They receive honor cords to wear at graduation if their school district allows. And it really creates that excitement about being a part of our field. They also have the opportunity to complete a CDA attainment scholarship during the year as well for those seniors. It pays for the assessment fee, the $425, and as long as they upload their high school diploma, their high school verification, and the CDA by June 30th of that year, they receive a $500 incentive. So a great way to get started in the field as they're moving through the process. Also included in Career Compass is the idea of tuition reimbursement. So as we know, TEACH is a very specific degree. It has specific schools that we cooperate with, but there is an opportunity through Career Compass to be a little broader in that with tuition reimbursement. So if someone is working in the field and has working towards a related degree, they are able to apply for tuition reimbursement that would be up to $5,000 per semester. And they provide receipts to that, and as they're continuing to work in their program, they can get that each semester, so up to $15,000 a year. So again, if they are looking at some of the other degree programs or going to a school that doesn't cooperate with TEACH, that provides some additional opportunities to keep those qualified folks in our workforce. Awesome. Any questions on the programs overall?
I have a question, if about
Yes.
the Power Ohio? So that includes the incentive, the payout for CDA, not just associates and bachelors. That's all different layers are on a wait list now.
Correct. So we have 9 levels in Power Ohio. Levels 2 through 9 have a payment component to them, and so all levels are on a wait list at this point. Great. So under the TEACH umbrella, again, I spoke about the competencies that we're required to maintain to be a TEACH state. And one of those is engaging higher education. And so this event is one of those opportunities, but there are many throughout the year. We have a TEACH advisory committee that meets 3 times a year, talking about our workforce development opportunities, the programming specifics. We also have scholarship outreach, and for those schools, we've talked to many of you this past summer, but really working with the schools about how to outreach to potential scholars. So if we can work together and you already have an event that we might be able to attend or Zoom into, we are happy to do that to explain the scholarship opportunities and what's available, so that all potential recipients receive the information. We also have, of course, the planning committee for this event. And then we also have our college profiles. So in October, you'll start to hear our counselors reach out to update those profiles that talk about what's offered at your institution and complete the questionnaire that we upload on the website. So just fair warning, it's coming. Wonderful. So we are going to be going into our next session shortly, which is about Ohio Promise. Any questions as we kind of wrap up the welcome session this morning? Yes.
So on these scholarship opportunities, would there be someone that would be willing to do like a virtual discussion with students or particular classes or recruits?
Absolutely.
Classes, things like that?
Yes. So our scholarship counselors divvy up the state for CDA, different locations, as well as the colleges. And so they do this very routinely, that they'll, again, either join. Yeah.
Like the career compass piece, I don't think we generally have them talk about that, so I would
Sure.
pursue that.
Absolutely. Yes, we can do that. Yes, we're happy to do the road show for sure. We enjoy making sure folks get all the information they need. Great. All right. Well, Dr. Wendy Grove will be joining us shortly, and we'll get started with Ohio Promise. Again, we'll take a brief technology break and get started here shortly.